Yeah.
I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous love affair. Victories within the mile. Almost there, don't give up.
So, you know what we're going to do? See you in Fayetteville. See you in Fayetteville. Hogs by night.
No, behind! Natty! With the buzzer! It goes in! It's
Now, entering Natty State Studio, the sports media palace of Mid-America, the Wolf of Center Street. Here's your host, John Neighbor.
And welcome into the John Neighbors Show. Normally we are live from the Natty State Sports Studios, but today we are continuing on being on location as we are here at Hydrate NWA right here in Fayetteville off of Dixon Street. If you need the exact address, it's 609 West Dixon Street, Suite 101. I know a lot of people have probably made many trips over here, and it's a great spot that we look forward to doing a show from and having all the great info and the great things that we can share and prepare you for and what they got going on over at Hydrate NWA, because this is a place that's actually owned and operated by former Razorback great Jackson Lowry. And we're going to be talking with him about what they have going on, getting ready for baseball season. And folks, come on out. If you're in the area, I know it's a little wet outside, a little moist, but you can come in here and you can get hydrated. Don't worry about being outside. You can come inside to Hydrate NWA. And we're going to have plenty of things to discuss as we'll get into some basketball news, get to some baseball news, probably see me and others get an actual IV live on stream, and it'll go awesome.
John.
Dude, I'm telling you, like after this week that we had in the Tour Day Central Arkansas and thinking where we're at right now, it's going to get us hyped up for the weekend. It's like what could be better than going into the weekend than feeling hydrated, feeling energized, feeling healthy, feeling good, and having some hydration hit you into your veins. I don't know what could be better than that.
No kidding. I was looking at this menu a second ago, looking at the specialty packages, and the first one that jumped out was the pregame.
Yeah.
Said it'll prepare you for any occasion.
That's what we're about.
Yeah, might get after it a little bit this weekend. Concert tomorrow night over at JJ's Live. Looking forward to. But I went with the immunity boost.
There you go.
Because I got kids at home whose noses won't stop running, and I need to steer clear of getting sick myself.
Yeah. Well, nobody needs to get sick, especially around this time of year, man, especially when it's getting so busy and everything, too. But, they got a lot of great specialty packages that we'll tell you all about, whether it's the pregame, they got the recovery, they got the immunity boost, energy boost, sports training, which I believe is what I'm going to be getting, something of that nature. So get me ready for the weekend. Health and wellness, recovery max, aches and pains, cold and flu, glow up and skin detox, and even the whole hog, which you can imagine is basically the whole package that you can get to.
Yeah.
So
you can create your own too, I believe.
Yeah, it's
I think that's
customizable.
what Jackson said that he does.
Yeah,
builds his own.
Yeah, builds his own. If anybody wants to come down and get you one, I just call it the Jackson Lowry Special, and they'll hook you up with it and get you all energized for the weekend too. But yeah, we're going to be talking with Jackson. Also, former Razorback Tyler Spoon's going to be joining us live here because we didn't have a chance to get to talk to him in his weekly spot because we were down there in Little Rock, but he's going to come in and hang out with us thanks to the Bank of Fayetteville. So we'll talk about that and get you all ready for the weekend. But I know, Scotty, you and Curtis had a couple emergency live streams of the Pod at the Palace.
Busy last 20 hours.
Yeah.
Really busy.
Very busy. And for all intents and purposes, it's a good busy if you're a Razorback fan. Of course, last night with the news officially of Boogie Fland committing to Arkansas, and then Billy Richmond ends up signing his letter of intent with the Razorbacks. So I want to say it's 2 for 2, but those are two players that Razorback fans were extremely excited about, and guys that will be able to help this team out immediately.
For sure. Yeah, it's just been a busy week with, kids from John Calipari's, number 2 signing class at Kentucky. He's flipped 3 of them now. And you got 4 guys. Like, you can, if you throw Lawson Blake into the mix, you can actually, you can practice sets. You can practice you can do shell drill. You can, work on inbounds plays and all that kind of stuff. You got 5 guys now, 4 scholarship bodies. But yeah, three flips this week. It's been a productive week for Cal. After a time where it kind of felt like not a whole lot was happening, because the previous week, like his first full week, it was, Big Z popped early in the week, and then a few days later, Kenny Payne gets announced, and then nothing. Like the people want players on the roster. Arkansas legitimately didn't have a scholarship player on the roster for a while. Now they have 4. But Boogie Flynn and Billy Richmond the last couple of days is pretty big. Carter Knox, obviously, when we were hopping off your show on Monday at Rock and Roll Sushi. Boogie Flynn's going to be fun. He really is. He's he's a NYC kid and has that flair about him. I listened to an interview. I mentioned this, I think, on the pod at the Palace last night. I listened to a New York Post sports interview that he did, I think back in February, and he named like several of his favorite players, and I think he named 4 or 5, and he named 4. 3 of them were former Cal guys. So it's Derrick Rose. He wears number 1 because he liked Derrick Rose when he played at Memphis.
Good player, yeah.
Who didn't like Derrick Rose?
Yeah,
at
seriously,
Memphis?
that dude was fun.
Then he mentioned Tyrese Maxey, who was the NBA's most improved player this year, and then Emmanuel Quickley, who was really, he was a dude at Kentucky. So
he was the SEC Player of the Year, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Beat out Mason Jones. Not that I remember that or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those are good comparisons too. And that's the thing is, you're still waiting on some other guys that are in the mix that have taken visits. And I think Adu is one that a lot of people are excited to see what he ends up doing. It's the Garrison guy from Oklahoma State who's going to be taking a visit. It's, I'm not saying that he's like the number 1 priority, but he's a good player that's in the portal. And I think that's just, again, they open the floodgates. It starts building up. It start getting excited to where they're not done yet because they still have a lot of roster spots to fill.
Yeah. I think that, they got 4 scholarship guys. They've got 9 available. And Curtis has mentioned this on our pod too. Like, you don't necessarily have to fill every one of them.
Right.
Like, you could leave a couple open. Like, if you feel like you've got maybe 9, 10, or 11 guys that you feel really good about, you don't have to fill the last couple if you have them. Maybe you do grab some of those guys and they help you as, maybe more as practice players, scout team type guys. I'm interested in how this weekend is going to go in terms of Adu and Garrison, because Adu going to be he's first this weekend, and then Garrison comes on Sunday. Probably if Adu doesn't commit, I think that was the the consensus, especially what Curtis was saying this morning. It made a whole lot of sense. Like, if you hear that Garrison's canceling his visit, it probably means that Adu's going to pop. If Garrison, I like both of those guys a lot. I talked to Dane Bradshaw from SEC Network this morning about Adu. Really likes him. Offensively, he can step out and shoot it 10 to 12, 15 feet. He can, turn over either shoulder and score. Got really nice touch. Defensively, he's going to block shots and offensive rebound. And he can run the floor pretty well, but the knock on him is that, like, against some, physical, big-bodied centers, he can get bullied a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's only really against guys who are All-America types. And you're going to eventually, you're going to come across guys like that over the course of a season. If you eventually, get to where you want to go, you're going to have to probably play somebody like that. But I think, if Adu was to come here, I don't think you can put a price tag on Kenny Payne working with a big man, and he's quote unquote the big man whisperer. Like, Adu is a fringe all SEC guy already, and all SEC defensive team guy already. If he gets some work with Kenny Payne, who knows what could happen. Kind of the same with Garrison. He got thrown into the fire right away as a freshman at Oklahoma State. He started their last 29 games, so he's already been through the Big 12, and he handled it pretty well. I talked to somebody at the Oklahoman about him today. Handled the Big 12 well. If he comes to Arkansas, you just have to hope it translates. But he's not afraid to mix it up. Physical, he'll get after it. Yeah,
well, see, and that's what I like about the situation Arkansas is in, where they're obviously adding some big pieces, guys that you mentioned, and there's some guys that just feeling like maybe the fit of where they were, or maybe what the situation they were in previous ones. He can come into Arkansas and be under different circumstances that makes it better for him, and maybe a better fit, maybe better, not saying better coaching only, because, you never know about that, but it's like these are guys that can maybe flourish with the right situation, and I think Arkansas is trying to build that and making sure they get the right roster guys. And so now I guess at this point in time, was it 5 total players that they have?
Yeah, including Lawson Blake. Yeah, 4 scholarship guys.
So, 4 scholarship guys, and they're just going to continue to build out and continue to get better and better from it. So that's the thing that I think Razorback fans need to be excited about and still look forward to. In fact, people are continuing to ask all about, like this from Slim Piggins, asking any new information on Liam McNeely and what's been going on with him. I'm not totally sure. So Curtis says you guys got to learn how to speak Husky. So, well, there's that.
Yeah, he visited UConn last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, last weekend.
I feel like UConn is one of those places where if you got him, or if UConn's wanting you, it's hard to say no to what they have going on right now.
Yeah. The Kobe Brea kid, too, from Dayton, I think is visiting UConn this weekend and then Duke early next week. I mean, Arkansas I don't think is in the mix for him anymore, but UConn that's basically kind of seems like the rich getting richer potentially.
Yeah, I mean that's the vibe it's giving right now.
Yeah.
But again, it's hard to say no if you got that, and then somebody or saying that. Well, if I can get the thing to work here in our comments section, which, folks, if you want in, that's the best way to do it is through the comments section. David says, but do we have enough players or enough guys to run floppy yet?
You do actually, yes.
Yes, yeah. Got to have the floppy going. Got to have the floppy going.
Who are you running floppy for now?
Boogie?
Yeah, Boogie or Knox, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that with Boogie. Yeah. Hey, listen, Lawson Blake, if he goes out there, like he might get some run this year. Did he even play really this past year? Did he get any legit run?
I don't think so. I mean,
as far as playing in the game, I guess
we talked about it a little bit when we had him on as a guest on Pot at the Palace. Like Eric would randomly throw him and Cade in at the end of a first half when there's 0.6 seconds left in the half, I guess, just to kind of, get the guy who are subbing out a little bit of extra rest and just to make sure they didn't pick up a silly foul or something like that. But Lawson was grateful. He's happy to be on the floor.
I keep rooting for him, man. I really hope that he is able to stay on the team in some capacity and be able to help out. That's what the hope's for. But also at the same time, it's hey, it's going to be Cal's decision in the end. Yeah. And, they got to figure out what his role is going to be. And, if he, I don't know who other walk-ons is. He got higher quality walk-ons going on. I'm not totally sure, but that's something that you guys are going to have to leave to Cal and let Cal decide it and how it's going to work out too. So,
yeah.
But we'll have some other questions. Also, this about Jalen. Says any other under the radar guys that maybe the Hogs are looking at that we haven't heard about yet? Also, do we know anything about Jalen Shelley?
Jalen Shelley committed to USC today.
That's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure.
Under the radar guys? Who would that be?
Man, what is an under radar? Hey, I tell you what.
You can think of?
Curtis, I got you this right here. You can get on that. Yeah, you can just hold that there and do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, so any other under the radar guys we're thinking, Curtis?
Is this thing on?
It is on.
We're good?
Yeah.
Maybe Kason Pryor. I think he's still a little bit under the radar out of
USF,
South Florida. Yeah, he played on a really good South Florida team, and he is a dude who he's got a little bit of Grant Nelson to his game. He's similar size to Trevin Brazile. He's about 6'10", 210. A guy that can stretch the floor and shoot the three, can put it on the deck a little bit. I think he's a great complement to what Arkansas has and what they're going to have probably at that center position. He can play the four.
Yeah.
So he would be one that kind of sticks out a little bit. I would say, maybe still keep your eye on a guy like BJ Freeman out of Milwaukee. It's interesting to me that he was a guy that Kentucky was in pretty good shape for when Cal was still there. Big 6'6" wing. He can actually play the point. He scored 20 points per game. But then he comes over to Arkansas, and you don't hear that much about anything going on there. But his recruitment has gone completely quiet. He hasn't taken any visits. He hasn't done anything. So it makes you wonder if that's just kind of one they might have in their back pocket a little bit. So those would probably be two guys that stick out to me. But there's going to be more. And honestly, they're kind of waiting this thing out because you have until May the 1st to get into the portal, anybody. Mm-hmm. And every day here this week, there's been 2, 3, 4 guys, big-time dudes who've entered the portal. Michigan State's starting point guard entered the portal today. The Kadari Richmond kid from Seton Hall entered the portal yesterday. Norshad Omir, the big boy from Miami that was at Arkansas State. So, it's name after name after name of really good player coming out. So I really think there might be an under-the-radar guy or two there, but they're big game hunting, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
that's
what happens.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really know what to say because, it's Kadari Richmond was a guy that went for he averaged almost 16, 7, 5, and 2 steals a game. Know who he is. Not many guys in the country do that. Yeah, that's why I was kind of struggling to come up with an under the radar name because all these guys are. I think Kason Pryor's Kason Pryor's was a good one.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, there's a lot of things going on here. for Razorback basketball that you got to be excited about in the recruiting element, and we're going to keep you updated on it, folks. With the Pod at the Palace, and Scotty and Curtis are going to be on top of it too. And as a reminder, we're broadcasting live from Hydrate NWA here on Dixon Street, and we're going to be having some fun. I'm going to be getting an IV in me. I think, Scotty, you're going to be getting an IV in you, and having some of the great things I have going on. I'm sure we'll talk with Jackson Lowry, who looks to be he's smiling over there, so he's happy. He's having a good time. He's always a good guy. So we'll talk with him, and not only about what they have at Hydrate NWA, but also about the Razorback baseball team and what he thinks about this weekend too. And we'll keep it moving here on the John Neighbors Show live from Hydrate NWA here on Dixon Street. So stay with us. More to come on the other side of the break.
We not done yet either. So don't be satisfied. We not done.
Hey John, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat. I added a two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. Okay, you missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you, Dave. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
That is why Arkansas is fantastic.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys. I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
Big Red, so excited. Big Red. Oh.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the SEC.
Well, Fayetteville is 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
Let's stick my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
The John Neighbors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
Welcome back into the John Neighbors Show here live from Hydrate NWA on Dixon Street, getting you ready for the weekend as it is a big weekend for Razorback baseball. Got Razorback basketball, of course, still turning on with all the craziness happening. And, since the baseball team is number 2 in the country, they're not too bad. And we always like talking to not only current Razorback baseball players, but also former Razorback players. And it just so happens that since we were here at Hydrate NWA, that the owner of it is also a former Razorback great, Jackson Lowry, who joins us right now here on the show. What's up, Jackson?
I don't know about great, but...
no, come on, man. Don't sell yourself short.
Proud former Razorback.
You got a College World Series ring, don't you?
I do.
So that's worth it, man.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you having us out here, man, at Hydrate NWA.
Oh, man, we're glad to have you all here. I'm a big fan of you, big fan of the show, the whole company, and so, yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell us more about this, because when we talked about it originally, it was one of those things I think people sometimes can maybe have a misconception of everything. Maybe they don't understand truly what it is. And but now that you've kind of taken over and we've gotten to see the inside, just what is it about Hydrate NWA that people can get when they walk in here?
Man, it's the whole concept of IVs is kind of new to Northwest Arkansas. And people think stereotypically it's for just hangovers, but more and more of our clients, probably most of our clients, are general health and wellness conscious people. Mm-hmm. Different aspects of life, pain management, weightlifting, just all around better for you, good things for you, nutrients, efficiency instead of just having to be consciously drinking water all day. There's several different, reasons to get an IV, and we just want people to check it out. Once you get one of them, I think you'll come back and get more because you realize how much it makes you feel better.
Well, you're live up right now.
I am.
So what do you? So what's the Jackson Lowry special that you got going inside of you right now?
I won't let the scientists, the nurses, tell you all, the science behind it all. But I pretty much get an energy boost, Toradol, Decadron, and B12, and then just general hydration.
Okay. So I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So as long as you keep it going,
exactly.
Man.
I just say, hey, give me the regular.
Yeah. Well, some people think also that it's maybe just like an instant thing, and it can be an instant thing, but it's also something that can be helpful, like when you wake up the next morning, type of thing too.
Absolutely. I think if you're gonna go have a big weekend on Dixon Street, getting one Friday is the most beneficial, in my opinion.
Which is today. How about that?
It is.
Ironically enough.
Yeah. So we're gonna all feel good this weekend, but definitely you realize the benefits of it afterwards. I think it's not a quick fix miracle thing, but I want everyone to come try it one time. We give big discounts for the first one because we're pretty confident you'll come back.
Yeah. See, and that's something that shows that confidence and doing it that way too. So. I know that, of course, we're being here, but you being a baseball guy itself, about, I guess, a little over halfway through the Razorback baseball season already. So number 2 in the country, still not too bad. So, I mean, just what do you think of the team so far?
Yeah, man, it's one of those things that it's like, man, it's a different level from when I was here. I don't know. I tell people I don't know if I would have got a jersey on this team, but you're definitely proud to. Have been a part of a program that's it's the program now.
Yeah.
I think kids in high school, they think of Arkansas baseball and it's the one. That's where you want to go. That's the dream school. And watching them, the way they play, the way they act, the way they carry themselves makes me as a former Razorback extremely proud. Of the entire program. And obviously, the talent is insane.
Dude, yeah, that's the stupidest thing about it all, honestly. Yeah, especially the pitching talent, you being a former pitcher, too. I mean, it's just like Mason Molina's not going to be going this weekend.
Yeah, and he's a great pitcher, a lot of fun to watch, but they got horses coming.
That's what I was going to say. So they have it set to where it's going to be Hagen Smith game 1, of course, and then you have Brady Tiger going to be game 2. So I think we both agree it probably depends on what Arkansas does in game 1 and game 2, but game 3, who do you think they should roll with as the starter? Throw it out there.
I think that they're gonna have to, like you just said, see what happens the rest of the weekend, and then decide, depending on if it's a rubber match or not, who to go with. But they got so many options, man. I don't think it really matters who they roll out there.
No, I mean I don't think so either. But just given the circumstances of how they've shown it each and every time. Like, I mean, you got guys that are true freshmen that you're able to put in there. I know guys like Gabe Gackle have looked really good. But even you throw out like a Will McIntyre who's been there before. You could throw him out there into the mix too. So, yeah, they got it's truly like exciting because I know that the hitting is a little bit hit or miss depending on the day. But, the fact that you're able to have so many, as you say, horses out there to go out there and just throw whatever and can do whatever, man, that's big time, and that gives you what the confidence you have that, hey, even if a guy like Mason Molina's out, you still have somebody in there that can step up.
Yeah, somebody will step up, man. Even the way the young guys go out there and compete, they're not scared. They believe in their stuff. I think that's great coaching. Hobbs and my guy Zach Barr and DJ Baxendale, man, they get those guys ready and they really believe in themselves, and you can see it. Their presence.
Yeah, I know that this weekend against Florida too. Florida's always a tough series and tough out too, man. Like I've always felt like Dave Van Horn and Florida with Kevin O'Sullivan. They've always had I think Dave respects most coaches, but it's like there's like a similarity almost to how they approach everything.
Yeah,
too.
I agree with that. There's a couple of them that they kind of just respect the way they coach, the way their guys play, and Sully is definitely one of those. I know that for a fact. A lot of good buddies with some good stories.
Yeah.
Sully.
Felt so, man. Felt so because they've won a few World Series, I believe, and they're always that team that feel like, even if they've struggled, which they got swept by Missouri this year, like weird stuff. But then they're probably going to end up in Omaha at some point. Like it's just weird how that works out.
Yeah, it's Florida.
Yeah, it's the Gators. It's baseball, man. At the end of the day, it's baseball. So, but man, we appreciate you having us out here at Hydrate NWA, and know that with the rain and everything outside, it's kind of made things a little iffy for the baseball team. But tonight it looks like the game's going to get in, so that's big. But
That feels incredible. It's not a normal, it's not like it could rain all day and it'll be dry.
Yeah.
Well, they got like a couple $1 million French drain under there, so it's a big league field.
Yeah, they better. I mean, listen, at this point in time, they better have something big time like that. So, but yeah, man, I know that you're IV'd up and all of that. So, we talked about it too. Sometimes there's misconceptions about, coming in here. I was like, oh, you just pump you with water and everything. But it's like you look at I call it the menu, but it's like you look at the different options that you have. I mean, it's pretty incredible to see just basically you got something for everybody. Like no matter what, if you need the energy, if you got some aches and pains, if you want some recovery, I mean, you got it all here.
Yeah,
too.
you can just come in. I tell people just come in, man. It's a great atmosphere. We have private rooms. If you want to sit in the back, really comfortable atmosphere with TVs and. You can come in, relax, and talk to our staff, and they'll point you in the right direction depending on what you're looking for. So, we want everyone to come in, man, and check it out, and I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, one of your former teammates is coming in here in about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah. Tyler Spoon. Do you want to get in any cool Tyler Spoon stories before he comes in here, man?
Tyler's like the ideal teammate, friend, brother, son, whatever. He's one of my favorite teammates ever, man. And there's a ton of stories, but there's nothing like, there's nothing that you can't say online, on TV about Tyler. He's the real deal, man. I love Ty. Saw him at Chipotle the other day. We had lunch together, just like we see each other every day, like we were still playing.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, man.
Yeah. He's a good guy, and we appreciate him coming on and hanging out with us and talking a little ball with us because it's great to. Anytime you talk to former Razorbacks, but, especially that 2015 team, because something I've talked to him about is just how much baseball's changed. And since then, and college baseball, I should say, especially just the way it's approached recruiting and, the coaching and development and with NIL, especially now, geez, it's almost like you don't even, like you have we already had a little bit of a deal where you could out-recruit guys, did not go to the majors straight out of high school, but now with NIL, it's like, man, some of them may be tempted just to stay in college.
You're really incentivized to come to Fayetteville and be treated like a big leaguer instead of go to, Bluefield, West Virginia, and have to walk to the field. But it is amazing. The whole college baseball, is a way bigger deal, I think, and it's really cool to see the growth of it all. And my mom's actually in town, and she hasn't been to a game since 2016, and so I told her she's not going to believe the stadium.
Really?
How much that's even changed.
So. Yeah, gosh, I guess that is true. It's true. Was that your final year? Was 16?
15 was
15.
My final
okay,
year.
Yeah.
But, mom and dad moved pretty far away.
Yeah.
So they haven't been able to get back.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. She came in for a good one then too. Because I guess like you're talking about your recruitment. What was that like? Like when you were getting recruited at Arkansas?
Man, they didn't really have to recruit me.
Yeah.
They gave me a spot, and it was over with. Once I was in junior college, Meridian, Mississippi, middle of nowhere. I had some connections, but once Coach Van Horn gave me the go-ahead, it was over. So I didn't really have to do much recruiting. It was the dream. I told everyone else thanks, but no thanks. No, it wasn't a big deal recruit, but it was the dream. So.
Yeah, because I guess Wes Johnson didn't come until later, right? That he was in 2017, I guess, maybe, or 26, somewhere in there.
2017, something like that. But he was my coach at UCA.
Right.
Turned me into a pitcher, and long story, yeah. But he's a great guy, and he's got Georgia rolling a little bit right now, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's what talk about coaching trees and everything. It's pretty incredible to see, like Dave Van Horn. He's had some coaches that are here, but now you got two of his biggest proteges in the SEC at head coaching gigs.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, and there's a couple that are on staff right now that I know will be head coaches in the SEC not too long from now. So
yeah,
he does. He's the guy. He's the man.
Yeah, I'm sure with Hobbs,
the legend.
With Hobbs too. Like I guess he'll I'm still like, man, I'm surprised he hasn't been picked up. Maybe this is the year he gets picked up on it. But
yeah, I don't know. Maybe some, I don't really know Coach Hobbs, but some guys just want to be pitching coaches, and there's certain things that you don't have to necessarily deal with when you're a position coach. And so I kind of admire guys like that. But,
yeah.
I'm sure that he's had offers or will have offers,
Mhm.
both of them. But yeah, man, all the guys are great, and Coach Van Horn really knows how to pick them.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, like I said, he's got a good run, and he's getting it done somehow. So, but yeah, man, we really appreciate it though, Jackson, for having us out here and telling you everybody about Hydrate NWA. Come by today, get you ready for the weekend.
Absolutely, man.
It's not just recovery, man. After the fact, do a little prep work. To get,
Absolutely.
if you're going to go hard in the
Absolutely.
paint this weekend,
That's right.
This is the place to be at Hydrate NWA right here at 609 West Dixon Street. But hey, man, we appreciate it, and looking forward to when I get IV'd up here in a little bit too,
Yeah,
and
man.
giving me the special here. Is there anything I need to know about before I go into it? Like some tips you can give me, something like that?
No, needles never really bothered me, but if needles bother you, we got a great staff that makes it quick and easy, and man, it's kind of one of those things you just got to do.
Yeah,
and you'll realize the benefits afterwards. And yeah, the needle thing, it's quick, it's easy, you don't really feel it. It's not a big deal, but yeah, you just got to do it. And
We got to do it, man. We got to do it. Well, we appreciate it, dude. So
appreciate y'all.
Yeah, come down to Hydrate NWA, folks. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more of the John Neighbors Show live from Hydrate NWA. Maybe a Tyler Spoon sighting if he comes in on time. We'll see. We'll see if it happens, but we'll keep it moving here on the John Neighbors Show live from Hydrate NWA. So stay with us.
We not done yet either. So don't be satisfied because we not done.
Hey John, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrats. I added two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric,
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you, Dave. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
That is why Arkansas is fantastic. Yes, sir.
And I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys, I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
Big Red, so excited. Big Red. Oh.
Guys, I got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the SEC.
Well, Fayetteville is 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
Let's stick my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
The John Neighbors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
Welcome back into the John Neighbors Show here live from Natty State Sports Studios usually, but here today we're at Hydrate NWA as I am currently getting ready and prepped for my hydration that's about to happen here live on the air. So I'm sure it'll go well. Tyler Spoon's hopefully going to be joining us too here in just a little bit, as I know we'll talk to him with some baseball stuff and everything. And yeah, I guess it could go really well. Here, let me see this real quick. I want to ask about this. So, what's your name, man?
My name's Chris.
All right, so Chris is going to be hitting me up here. So, what are we putting in me right now?
Well, I'm just about to start an IV, which is a catheter that goes around a needle. The catheter stays inside the vein. We'll run some fluids with some vitamins, and you make you feel better. Pretty good.
All right, see, there you have it. So simple as that for him. But yeah, no, I appreciate you doing it. So, Because sorry about that. Yeah. So Curtis, you got some of it done in you, right? How we feeling over there?
Yeah, man, I feel great. Got the IV in, got the bag. The juices are flowing in the veins right now.
Yeah, yeah. Did you feel every bit of it, like as far as like the effects of it just yet, or is it something that's slowly but surely been coming along? I'm just curious
I'm
about
not gonna
it.
lie. Like I feel a little better already. That might just be a placebo thing. They told me before I did this that if I'm a runner, and I am, that if I run a 5K, that tomorrow I'd be able to run a 10K no problem.
Man,
and so
are you going to do that?
Yeah.
You're going to run a 10K tomorrow?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm legitimately gonna go out and just go as far as I can, see if I can set a new personal record or something.
Yeah.
And if so, then I'm gonna do a Yelp review or whatever I got to do for this. So I feel pretty good about it, man.
Yeah. Well, I can
it's pretty relaxing,
dude. I'm telling you, like, here's the thing. Like, I know people were talking with Jackson about needles and whatnot. I have a solution for those. I don't know if it's a solution, but at least what helps me, because I don't like needles. I don't think anyone's like, yeah, man, I love me some needles. But just here's the thing: is when you're getting it, just don't look. Just don't look. Yep. If you don't look, it just ends up being better for you over there too. So yeah, thank you, Jackson. Appreciate you. Jackson's being our cameraman over here now too. So yeah, that's perfect.
That's perfect.
That's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Jackson. See, look at this. He's already helping us out here, getting us high V'd up, and
we needed to do that so the people could see the Natty State Sports hat.
Oh yeah, like this is it's a little. It's a little new for people, but they need to see it and see what it's all about, because it's a sweet setup and it's a sweet hat. So, but I know that we got of course I guess Scotty and Andrew have both gotten it. So
yeah, Scotty and Andrew. I think Andrew's on his second bag already.
Is that right? He's already on his second bag.
Yes, he's gonna be juiced up to the max for the game tonight at Bomb. So
hey, Andrew and Scotty, how you feeling?
Are we being seen now?
Yes, you're being seen.
Yeah, we're feeling great.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm on bag one.
Like I don't know if I'm supposed to be feeling it right away. I've been trying to just be cool here. I texted Curtis and was like, "Are they putting stuff in me?" And it wasn't even hooked up to anything at that point. I was a little on edge, but we're making it through.
Yeah.
I feel like the Hulk right now.
Yeah, that's a good Hulk though, right?
I got the different one than y'all. Y'all got the energy boost one. I got the health and wellness. I'm looking out for my well-being. I'm not just trying to hit a quick lick.
I got the immunity boost.
Yeah.
Helps the brother
You got
out.
the immunity boost?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen,
I need to stay not sick.
You talked about those snot-nosed kids, didn't you?
I did talk about those snot-nosed kids, yes.
Yeah, well, don't worry. Well, yeah, because we're all getting IV'd over here, too, and I kind of feel bad. Actually, I don't feel bad at all, but we got, I guess, our intern over there, Landon. I see him behind the monitor. Is everything, give me a thumbs up. Everything good, Landon? Okay, good. Good. He's getting some IV into him as well, so. It's already happening to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're dripped up, bro.
See, look at that. I didn't even know it. I thought he was still prepping me over here. I didn't feel it. So
that's how smooth this process is.
I'm telling you.
know?
Yeah, that's what it needs to be. Because that's the thing, folks. I'm a big weenie. I'm a big baby when it comes to I don't like going to the doctor because I know they're always going to tell me something's wrong with me or that I'm ugly or something. So I'm like, I don't want to go. And but this is like, so if I can handle it, y'all can handle it. Y'all can deal with this. Because again, I'm just a big baby over here too. So. But Curtis, I know we were talking a little basketball with you, and Scotty, and then you were kind of chiming in from over there too. So, man, it's just so far so good for the Razorback basketball team, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, I think over the weekend people were a little freaked out because nothing had happened aside from the commitment of Big Z. But patience is a virtue, and it's paying off now. We kind of got tipped off late in the weekend. I guess it was Sunday night, and was hearing, there could be a huge weekend, it was 6-7 visitors and multiple commits coming. And I was just thinking back to when Cal had his introductory press conference, and I heard the same thing from some folks. And so I was like, I don't know. We'll see if it happens and I'll believe it. But that's exactly what's happened. So it's been really good. I like the way that they're approaching this, where it's like, we're going to get our guys from Kentucky first, whether it's the dudes who are transferring over who played for Cal last year or the guys who were in his signing class. And then you kind of lay your foundation with that, and then you know what holes you need to plug through the actual transfer portal. And then what happens? You pick up the third freshman today, and then boom, you got two big-time big men out of the transfer portal visiting over the next couple of days. So it's looking good. They got a plan. Got some coaches on campus working hard, and you can, like Scotty said, you can run a little shell drill or something at a practice now. So they're getting there. Maybe they'll develop a little bit of a bench over the next few days too. It's good stuff, man.
So when are they gonna? That's my thing. Is like I know we talk about players and all that, but like the coaches, like we know that Bruiser's out there, right, and Chen, and like, but they haven't been officially announced.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is kind of interesting. Kenny Payne's the only guy that's been officially announced, and that was a big deal. And part of that too is he's also the associate head coach. So, you know, I mean, it's really just a glorified assistant, but he's Cal's right hand man, and so I could see why that would get done first. But yeah, I mean, we've seen Chin Coleman out on the road with Coach Cal recruiting. He was at the overtime elite thing. I guess it was last Tuesday. He was probably with him in Florida when he went to see Liam McNeely and John L. Davis, and then we know that Bruiser Flint has been on campus doing a lot of the legwork for getting set up for the visits and everything like that. So, you know, there's 3 assistants right there. It's still trying to tie the loose ends up. They can add another body or two. And then some of it, too, is filling out the rest of your, like the support staff. Who's the recruiting coordinator going to be? Who's the director of operations, the internal ops? They got a lot of spots to fill, but it's coming along. I was telling Scotty earlier, naming, you know, just like officially announcing some of your assistant coaches feels like a really good Friday news dump.
Yeah,
so
sure.
we're kind of prepared just in case that happens.
Yeah.
Ivy and all. So
yeah, well, I know everyone's looking forward to when that actually happens because again, people are just always tired of waiting. But again, you've had 2 players in a 12-hour span essentially, or an 18-hour span.
Yeah, that
So
was
that's
crazy.
Good. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, we knew Boogie was coming at some point yesterday, and then that popped, and when we kind of figured that Billy Richmond was going to be, you know, right on the way. We thought maybe we get a double dip in one night, and then no sooner than we stopped recording the Boogie Fland episode and got a little bit of sleep, and the moment we walked into the office, Billy Richmond pops today, and we got to go live again. So 2 hours worth of basketball content in about 14 hours. It's pretty good. That'll work.
Dude, everybody's excited about it too. Again, we're live here at the Hydrate NWA on Dixon Street, and you know, we've got some interesting comments here talking about, of course, all the like Aiden says, John. Oh, he already spelled my name wrong, which is awesome. Good start. But he says John Neighbors got that drip literally. Great.
Yep.
So yeah, I can use that at least. Also, Aiden says Curtis is on the juice too.
That's right.
And Slim says he's going to be here the next visit. Somebody just says, "Hey, Curtis."
Hey.
Named Jonathan Bruce. Hey, what's up, Curtis?
What's going on?
Yeah, and then there was another one too that I was laughing about too. Oh, he's like said. Jonathan says he switched the camera so they didn't pass out. Talking about Curtis or Scotty and Andrew. It's like, no, they ain't gonna pass out. They're over there going strong in the paint. And then somebody said that Andrew was pumped out to the gills or something like that.
That was a Kingsley comment.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And get that. And then Jeremy says, so John, is this going to be our version of the Dream Team? Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, the Dream Team. Like, I mean, they got to win it first. So that I mean, it has potential. It has potential. You did not spell it correctly, Aiden. It's not your next door neighbor. So this is quite the question. It says, "Hey John, any plans to keep up with the U of A bass fishing?" Did anybody know that U of A had bass fishing? It's like, is anybody aware that there is a club? It's a club team over there. I'm not even totally sure. Andrew, Scotty, did you guys know about that?
Know about what?
Bass fishing in Arkansas.
Bass fishing in Arkansas?
The U of A.
What
yeah.
did you just say? Something?
No, my buddy's in it.
Yeah.
Intern Landon's got a buddy
on the team.
So then, yes, we do have plans to keep up with it.
Intern Landon knows everybody.
I'm about to say, like,
he's got
Intern Landon's
sources
on the job
everywhere.
now.
He's plugged in, dude.
Dude, I'm about to say he's like over there, like just hanging out and getting IVs and talking about his friends that are on the bass fishing team. Like it's a jack of all trades over there. So okay.
John, do you want me to report some breaking news to you on the show?
Yeah, you got the camera on you and everything. So yeah.
Arkansas will not be playing baseball Sunday. Doubleheader tomorrow, starting at noon. They will be playing baseball tonight, though, just to clarify.
Okay, so tonight and then a doubleheader tomorrow.
Yes.
What time? It's because it's supposed to be at noon anyways, right?
I think so. Yeah, it's gonna be noon too. Yeah, so it's gonna start at noon. Just play both games. Call it a day. It's a 24-hour series.
Man, back to back.
That's crazy.
So the back to back, because it was it last? Yeah, last week they had
Last week was pretty
doubleheader too. So okay, well there we go. Now you heard it here first. Probably more so from social media.
So basically, whoever wins tonight wins the series because you always split a doubleheader.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, that's let's hope
literally
so.
never not happened.
Let's hope so.
Does that impact, you think, their plans for the Sunday starter, or does it matter? Playing two in
Yeah, I
one
don't
day?
think they're going to start anybody on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think they're starting anybody Sunday. No, yeah, I don't.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I don't think it'll affect it too much, honestly.
Wise
I think
guys
it's going to be a
over
bullpen game regardless.
Well, I'm just still like we were talking about with Jackson's, like the third day is, or the third game. Make sure I get it right. Third game. Hopefully they win the first two, and you can just mess around, screw around, find out who's going to come out there and be good for you. So, but yeah. So I don't know. Like if you were to have a doubleheader, this might be a question for Jackson sitting right over here, even though none of the camera on him.
A
But
high-level arm would know.
yes, that's true. That's true. So if you were trying to have him to do a doubleheader, would you rather have a doubleheader early in a series, like like a game not on Friday but Saturday, 2 on Saturday and then the Sunday, or would you rather have a Friday game and then go for that? So
I think doubleheaders is kind of just you just gotta grind.
Just grind.
Just grind it out.
It's just to grind it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get ready for those type of things anyways when it comes to, I guess. Yeah, and then the regionals and things, because sometimes those rain and you got to start playing games early and everything too. So, yeah, well, good to know. Good to know. So those of you who had tickets to Sunday's game, how does that work too? Do they do it like Sunday tickets? I think.
I would imagine Sunday tickets are good tomorrow.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Like the game 2.
Yeah.
They don't make everybody leave the ballpark between the doubleheader though. Yeah.
Oh, will it? Okay.
Okay.
Do they clear the yard? I can't remember.
We haven't before.
Okay, that'd be so annoying if they made everybody clear the yard for that.
Landon needs his own show.
Apparently so. He's just like
He does have the intern podcast.
That's true.
That's right, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Driving that one.
You do have to just bear through the other guys, though. I'm kidding. They do a great job. The intern podcast is good stuff.
I do have news. Liam McNeely has committed to UConn.
Oh.
So stop talking about him now?
Yeah, we can stop talking
All
about
right.
him. They're going to get Liam McNeely, and then they're going to make him cancel that Duke visit because he's going to commit while he's on his visit this weekend. Or Kobe Bryant, yeah.
Yep.
Rich get richer.
There you go.
There you go.
So
They're
for
working
those
on
you,
that three-peat.
so those of you who are blowing up
There's
in
a
the
lot
chat.
of breaking news today.
I have to say, what else could happen? Any possibilities? Anything we're thinking? No? Good.
Nah.
Good. Y'all need a weekend where there's, I mean, I guess breaking news is great, but it's like a weekend of timing would be nice,
That'd be great. That ain't gonna be this weekend, but it's.
But see, when the roster gets finalized for basketball, you guys would finally be able to, like, just do your thing.
Yeah.
And do it. So, but, yeah, Cameron doing a fine job. Thank you. I'm the one that's doing that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Jonathan says, Curtis, I think we need Adu and John L. Davis with this young class, and they both have a deep run experience.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they need Adu and John L. Davis for a number of reasons. But yeah, no, I really like, Nelly Davis is a dude that led a Cinderella run to the Final Four. And wherever he goes, and if it's college, I think it'll be Arkansas. I mean, he's going to be a preseason All-American, no doubt. So yeah, you need that kind of guy on your team. Yeah, Jonas Adu, I mean, Tennessee, believe it or not, even with Rick Barnes as their head coach, they were a game away from the Final Four this year. So a deep run, a guy who's got a lot of SEC experience, so sign me up for that. And what people are sleeping on is the Kenny Payne factor.
Dude, bring in the pain.
The big man whisperer. So what would he be able to do with a guy like Jonas Adu?
Yeah, I mean, you would think about Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Just to name a few.
You think they're going to be on some FaceTime calls while these big men are on campus this weekend?
I think so.
I think so, too.
I think so.
Anthony Davis might be available to come to campus after they finish off this sweep. So
it's been quick. It has been quick for them. Razor Stark says, hey, John, is there an Arkansas hockey team?
Yes.
Yes, there is. It's a club team. Is it why isn't it a well-known sport? I can only imagine jam-packed hockey arena for Razorback fans. Just wanted to know. Well, it's yes, they have one, but it's not like it's a club team at the Jones Center. Because isn't there how many ice rinks are there in the state of Arkansas? I feel like there's only like 2.
Oh yeah, probably not that many. Have you been to one of those before though?
Yes, I have. It's been
blast,
a while.
honestly.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. They were supposed to way back when I first got into radio. They were supposed to hook me up with a hockey jersey with my name on it, and they never showed up. And I was really bummed because I was like, that would have been a pretty cool thing if we could have it. So, but no, they do have a hockey team though. Those are the only ones there though. What did I tell you about Tyler Spoon being late? What did I say he was going to do? He was going to be late. I mean, I know he's Tyler Spoon and everything. I know we gotta bow down to Tyler Spoon.
He's allowed to be late.
Yeah, he's just.
I was just about to say the same thing. If I was as handsome, I wouldn't show up to anything on time.
Man,
you're forgiven.
Like, which one was it of you two? But you said it's like you lost yourself in his eyes. Like, who was it?
It was at the launch party.
I didn't say that.
No, yeah, I had a few drinks in me, and we were talking, and I was like, man, dude, this is pretty. I thought we were gonna kiss for a second. I was just out there. He had his girl in front of him too, man. It was tough.
I mean, did you ever tell him that, or no? Just sorry.
We'll ask him if he felt it too. When he
we'll see if he felt the same way. He's looking.
I think that was the first time I'd met him. By this point, I've seen him a few times, so I'll play.
You've gotten over it.
Yeah.
You've gotten over it. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But no, I like to give Tyler a hard time. Just always act like he's this biggest jerk. Then just comes in. He's like, "Hey, I'm Tyler Spoon. Everybody get out of my way." He talks about himself in third person because he could not be more the opposite. Because he's actually like the best type of dude ever. So, but yeah, we're gonna have him on here in just a little bit too. I'm not. Hey, by the way, Liam McNeely committed to UConn. I don't know if you heard that. We're being told. Yeah. We're being told. Porkenstein, which I finally figured it out. He says, "What are the Glacier Cats and the River Blades doing these days? You remember those?"
I remember those.
Yeah. It was the hockey. It's like Little Rock had 2 hockey teams for some reason. Barton.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that was crazy. Dude, yeah, I do remember that, and I had a hockey puck. That was from one of them too. So I don't know what they're doing these days. I would assume they don't exist.
Shout out to the Arkansas Rim Rockers and the Arkansas Twisters arena football team.
The Rim Rockers is a lot of fun.
Yeah, Twisters games. Good time.
Yeah, I think there's also. I just heard that they're launching an arena football team in Hot Springs.
I saw that yesterday.
Kid you not.
Wow. I'll go.
I'll go to it as well. But it's like, where is it? I guess it's going to be at that place they have state championship games at.
Yeah, probably that place they have.
That's like the only arena I know of in there. It's like the only arena that I can think of.
Banco
They can make that work.
Banco ZK.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Arena foot. What is that? Is it 50 yards? Arena football. It's a smaller field.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Smaller field, and it's a more narrow uprights.
Yeah.
Goalposts.
Yeah. And you get to do the thing where you can run from up to the line of scrimmage. You can have just Tyreek Hill full speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, we got to take a break now because if Tyler Spoon's here, we got to give him his proper introduction if that's the case. So we'll make it happen for him. But we'll take a break. We'll come back. More of the John Neighbors Show live from Hydrate NWA here on Dixon Street, folks. So stay with us.
We not done yet either. So don't be satisfied because we not done.
Hey John, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrats. I had a 2-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you today. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
That is why Arkansas is fantastic.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys, I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
Big Red, so excited. Big Red. Oh.
Guys, I got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was the teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the SEC.
Well, Fayetteville is 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
Let's stick my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
The John Neighbors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
Welcome back into the John Neighbors Show, live from Hydrate NWA here in Fayetteville off Dixon Street. Feeling hydrated, feeling great right now. Is it? I guess it's in the second process of it all, too. Now everybody got hydrated up, feeling good, energized, ready to roll. And speaking of ready to roll, we are joined by Tyler Spoon, former Razorback baseball player, thanks to the Bank of Fayetteville here in downtown. Appreciate you being flexible with us because I know normally we do Wednesdays, but we were in the Central Arkansas area. So, but
yeah. No, it's good. Hey, appreciate you having me. It's a good little spot down here.
Yeah. Have you ever been over here before? Ever gotten hydrated up here at Hydrate NWA? Anything like that?
I haven't been here, but I know a guy that runs this place. He's a pretty good dude. So
I heard.
He's Mr. Lowry over there. He's good people. So anything he's involved with, I'll support him. So
well, I was trying to get him to say tell some really good stories about you on the air, but he just couldn't think of any good ones, man. He just couldn't think of it. So
that's a good thing.
I know.
Or maybe I'm just boring. One or two. So
we'll go with the more flattering one for you. So. But, man, I know, again, we talk baseball with you all the time. Arkansas, it was a little dicey there in North Little Rock a little bit, but turned it on.
Got
the nice win.
Yep. You can't see early on. Then when it gets dark, they'll start hitting.
Dude,
it never fails.
You called it, and it was so funny because we were there at the game, and I remember me and Curtis sat down, and we were looking out there at the batter's eye. He's like, and Curtis goes, man, Tyler's right. Like, when you see that, it's like
nothing.
It's tough out there. But got the victory, and kind of got that off their back, and they're now getting ready for the weekend. But just what do you think of the performance there and what you can actually take out of a game against UAPB like that?
Yeah, it's just good to win in Little Rock. Again, it's a fun place to play. It's the environment's great, the people are great in Little Rock, and was always rowdy. So usually it was just that 3-1 ball game kind of deal. So to see us go, win 10-1, 11, whatever the score was, win big, that's good. And for Pine Bluff too, that was probably a lot of fun for them. A lot of their families were able to come and just see them play. So good to do it. Get some momentum going into Florida this weekend.
Also, before we get to Florida, they had, of course, the series against South Carolina this past weekend on the road. It was tough, man. It was a hard fought one, but man, that was a frustrating thing. And with the doubleheader too on the Saturday, I mean, when Hagen Smith started, you feel like you're going to win, and they did. But then the first game. Just no. Well, I think it was 14 players left on base, 14 runners. Didn't get the scoring, but then they turned it on in the game too. But what do you think about the bounce back performance that they had as far as them getting down and not looking so good offensively, but then turning it on in game 3?
Yeah, just winning on the road, man. It's so hard in the SEC. It's tough. So just to be able to go to South Carolina is a tough place to play too. It's not an easy place to win. So to be able to do it, win 2 out of 3, no matter how you do it, if you win 3-1 or 2-1-0 ball games and lose the other one 30-1, as long as you win 2, that's all that matters. So, it seems like this team just keeps finding ways to win, even when things look kind of, kind of bad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but they did a great job. Again, just I'm excited to see Hagen against Caglione at some point this week, tonight. So
is Caglione
he's the real deal?
I kept trying to convince my buddies. I was like, no, Hagen Smith is the Golden Spikes leader right now, and they're like, I don't know, like right now, because man, he is. Because I knew he was good, but when you look at his numbers and his stats, you're like, jeez, this dude is. I mean, again, Hagen's incredible, but this dude is also really good tonight too.
Yeah, I think it'll be between him and Charlie Condon from Georgia.
Yep.
But the big thing is his size. I mean, he's 6'5", 230. It's like same with Condon. Condon's 6'6", so it's just I don't know, guy. I think we may have mentioned this last week. Guys are just bigger. I don't know. I felt like I was a pretty average sized guy. I feel like I'd be the smallest guy on any team now. But he is every bit as he is hyped up to be. He's just got that presence in the box where you're like, I really don't want to throw a baseball to this guy. So it'll be fun to watch. Because Hagen doesn't care. He's just here's 98. Good luck. So. But that'll be a fun one to watch. But Cags is, man, he's really, really good.
Yeah. Well, and last week you had like we talked about, game 1 on Friday, and then you had a doubleheader on Saturday. It just got announced that this is going to be the same thing, game 1, doubleheader tomorrow. But we'll get to that part. But Molina's out this weekend. So it hasn't been announced who's going to be the starter. Tiger's going to be game 2 starter. Who do you think ends up being game 3 starter? And I'm sure it also depends on what you do in the first 2 games for that as well.
That's it. It's going to depend on these first 2 games. Because I remember, 2015, that was exactly our plan. Was we had Zach Jackson, and he was kind of in that position where, hey, you're basically on call. If we need you in game 1 to close it out, you're coming in. If we need you in game 2 to close it out, you're in. And if you didn't pitch Saturday or Sunday or Friday or Saturday, you're starting Sunday. So who knows? You may see, if Tiger, if Hagan and Tiger, if we win pretty easily, or just like we don't have to use a lot of our bullpen, you may see he may throw Gackle out there, start him, let him go 3 or 4 innings. You may see Cody Frank. You may see Fisher, who's already been a starter for us. Parker Coyle. Who knows? There's again, this pitching staff. You just have flip a coin or just point at somebody, and you could throw them out there, and they'll be good. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting. But I think on the flip side, I think you look at the timing of everything for Molina. I don't think you could have a better timing, for him to kind of take a week off and just, he's had, probably his 2 or 3 worst starts, and they still haven't really been bad.
Yeah.
But give him a breather this week, and hopefully he's ready by next week. And it may be one of those things where maybe a week off, just get a little bit of rest for this week, get healed up, get the ankle 100%, and then he comes back and he's even better than he was. So who knows?
Well, I thought that was interesting with Dave Van Horn saying that he's at like 90, 95%. And it's just like, no, we're still holding him out. Like, I just, usually you think about, hey, if you got a guy that's really good and he's 90%, you throw him out there. But I think it speaks also towards the depth that they have and the confidence they have. And also probably the understanding that, hey, whatever it is, we don't want to make it worse. We don't want to put any more pressure on it because, we're going to need him, especially with considering 2 of the toughest teams that are in the SEC or on your schedule on the road coming up too. So I just thought it was interesting how it's 95%, but that's still enough for Dave Van Horn to say, we're resting you, and we're going to take you out this weekend.
Yeah, being 14-4 helps that a little bit too. You don't have to win. So a good start like that can give you the freedom to make some decisions like that, to give your game 2 starter a week off if you need to, and just get him healthy for the last few weeks and into the postseason.
Yeah, well, we're speaking with Tyler Spoon, former Razorback, here on the John Neighbors Show live from Hydrate NWA. Thanks to the Bank of Fayetteville, as Jackson took me up with Gatorade. I was like perfect time because I'm like, man, he's probably needing a bit of this too. So thank you, Jackson. Also, too, Tyler, thinking about the current state of where things are at with baseball and with the Razorbacks, timely hitting. Is it still becoming a problem? Like, is it still something that really concerns you?
There's times, again, it's just, baseball's weird, and it's, I've thought about it a lot. College is weird, especially because you only get 56 games, and you look at the talent on the roster, it's there. So it's, it may be one of those deals where if we played 100 games, maybe we're really bad in the first half, and the second half we are unconscious. So I'm just hoping, again, I'm just hoping the timely hits come when we need it the most in the postseason and late in the year. So that's what I'm holding out on. Again, baseball is just finicky, and again, it also goes back to when you have an offense, when you have a pitching staff like this. Whether anyone will ever admit it or not, I've been in that situation. 2013, 1.89 team ERA. The thought was, hey, we just need to score 3. That was it. So you kind of, not that you get relaxed, but like you don't have that urgency as an offense as much. And not saying that's the case here. I have no idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if that thought's creeping into everyone's mind. And so, who knows? Maybe this is the year, knock on wood, that we're going to put it all together at the right time offensively. And the thing is, the pitching staff, you got to have pitching, you got to have defense to win. And at the end of the day, though, the championships will come with the timely hitting. So we'll see. I'm being optimistic about it. So
no, well, I know that with how, for instance, Aloy going 4 for 4, in those games, they always feel like the confidence is getting there and they get to that point, but you're still just like, I just hate seeing. I know it's baseball happens, but I just hate seeing that amount of players left on base in games.
It's frustrating.
I mean, and it's like, I think this is where I was actually talking to a buddy about this. It's like you get to that point, they're getting on base, so you know they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're getting there. So it's just a matter of getting them and home. That's I think is just such a weird but fascinating deal. Is where it's just they're capable of. It'd be one thing if they weren't even getting on base.
Yeah.
And they were just striking out or getting ground outs or whatever. But it's like they get there, they just can't get there enough during the time. So.
Yeah, it's tough. And you look at it half glass full, half glass empty kind of deal. And, like you said, you got to have the opportunities to score in the first place. And we do have the opportunities to score. But, again, it is also very, very frustrating that we have not done it a lot. We haven't scored in bunches like we're used to. So, but, again, you just never know. Maybe we put up 35 runs this weekend.
That'd be nice. That'd be fun.
Would be amazing. So, but, yeah, it's – the timely hitting. I'm just hoping and banking that it'll come late in the year in the postseason this year. That's my hope.
Let's hope so. What do you remember about playing Florida? I know you've played them before, but because you were part of one of the most fun games that I remember in the SEC tournament.
Yes,
against Florida in 2015. But just going up against the O'Sullivan squads, kind of like what did you always expect going up against them?
They were always tough, man. Always well coached. It almost feels like you're playing. Arkansas was playing another Arkansas in a way because I feel like the coach very similar. And O'Sullivan and DVH are really good friends, and so but Sully's just always a tough squad, always top draft picks on their team. I mean, so you're going to see a lot of talent, and it was always big, good battles against Florida, and it was fun. But you're going to see really really talented arms. You're going to see obviously Cags, probably maybe the best hitter in the country. So. Again, you're just going to see a lot of talent. So you just got to come ready to play. And Florida hadn't put it together this year, but that's a team that you look at the roster and you're like, this team could be 30-5 or something like that. So you've got to be prepared at all times. So I think it'll be a good series. And again, I think the coaching styles are just very similar. So we'll see who it favors this weekend.
You mentioned the coaching similarities. I think me and you have even talked about this. It seems like there is some sort of extra respect from Dave Van Horn to O'Sullivan and vice versa. I mean, I think Coach Van Horn respects most coaches, but is it just because they're so similar maybe, and that's why? I always felt like there's just more of appreciation there.
I think it's more, a lot of it just DVH appreciates how O'Sullivan runs his business. No nonsense. It's, again, very similar to DVH. And, it's just kind of how both of those guys grew up learning how to play baseball and, stuck to it. And, just the hard-nosed, just, blue-collar way. And so, there's a lot of respect for that. And just, I think, Sullivan's been good to DVH and always talked highly of him. And, again, like I said, they've been good friends. So, I think there's just a lot of respect for the coaching styles and how their teams play. And, it's just gone a long way for both of them.
What do you remember about that Florida game from the SEC tournament? Because I know what I remember. I know where I was when that happened, but just – one of the most iconic games. What's the things that stood out to you the most in that game?
I think about Bobby Wernes and I had a deal. We were roommates on the road, and after every game, whoever had the best game, or whoever had the worst game, had to take the laundry to down to the hotel lobby. That was our thing. And so Benny hit a home run, and then I struck out. And then Bobby was after me and hit a bomb. And the first thing we do, we walk in the door, and he, as fast as he could, threw his laundry at me. He said, "It's your turn tonight." So, but yeah, no, obviously Bobby hitting a home run. And it's funny to me because Bobby, if you knew him before that year, he had never hit a home run before that year in a game ever. Yeah. So, he turned into mentally a power hitter. So it was fun to see, and he went crazy. Everyone went crazy. We were just excited not to go to extra innings at 1:30 in the morning or whatever time it was. So, yeah, it was that was a fun game. Mainly because we didn't go to extras and we wouldn't play till 3 a.m. But it was fun.
That's not that anyone cares as much, but I remember I was actually at West End. Off Dixon Street.
Oh, yeah.
Right over here.
Yep.
With my buddies watching the game at 1:00. And I remember
True
we were like,
fans.
man, and we were asking the bartenders, hey, they close at 2 a.m. We're like, will you guys stay open so we can keep watching the game if it goes to extras? So, but yeah, I remember, and also the absurdity of just having a game in an SEC tournament still getting played that late that you got it because it was weather, right? I assume so.
Always.
It's always always that problem. But the quick turnaround, I don't even remember what happened the next game.
I couldn't tell you either.
Yeah. It
was get home as fast as we could and get ready for regionals. That was, usually the mindset. I mean, you obviously want to try to win, but again, you win a few games, but you don't want to overextend your bullpen to where you're everyone's just gassed by the end of the SEC tournament. So
yeah, did you? Because that was the year that you guys had regionals in Stillwater, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Stillwater. Yep. So getting ready for over there, and then came back, and then of course had the fun situation at the home super regionals against Missouri State. So, but yeah, I know, Tyler, it's crazy thinking right now where baseball's at in the SEC. I know you pay attention to a lot of the SEC things. Kentucky's still doing it. I keep waiting for whenever it's kind of like, all right, when's this Cinderella story or whatever? But like, they just keep getting it done. I just came out of nowhere. It's so crazy to me.
Yeah, and Tennessee to me is kind of at that top. It's like A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee to me. That's kind of how it's been. But that whole weekend last weekend was Tennessee. It was back and forth. Tennessee, Kentucky. And it's hard to say one's better than the other. You know. So I think Kentucky's in my mind kind of in the top four. They're kind of at that upper echelon at this point. So very impressive what they've been able to do, and just how they've been able to sustain it. And again, that's usually their problem, is they usually always come out hot, but they never can sustain it when they get to SEC play. And so, again, starting 14-1, and then they finally lose a series, and you look up and they're at 15 and or whatever the number is. That would be 15-2.
Yeah,
or whatever.
15-3.
Yeah, that number. So that's still, golly, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So
of course, the random year that Arkansas gets to play them on the road. It just happens to be when they're awesome.
When they're incredible.
Yeah,
it just never fails.
It just makes sense there. So but you got that. Of course, A&M still looking strong as ever. I hate to admit it, but man, they're scary. They're scary good. I mean, Arkansas is too. Don't get me wrong, but it seems like it's just like you said, Tennessee's in that. It's just those four teams. It seems like it's not only just for that, but also the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
They got great teams. I know, Oregon State's got the capabilities of being up there, and there's a few other teams, but I would just be shocked if the SEC did not have the champion this year in the College World Series, and also would be shocked if 50% of the field in Omaha was not from the SEC. It can be usually, but those to me seem like for sure for the top 8 teams in the country too.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's very, the SEC is definitely more top heavy this year, but at the end of the day, it's 4 really, really good teams. And the ACC this year is like, I can't tell if they're all really good or they're all really average. And it's going to be one of those years where,
like Clemson right now, who's playing, they're really good.
Who knows? It may be one of those years where, I think they're good. I think the ACC is good, but you look up and there's only one team in Omaha from the ACC. But I still think that you may look up and there's going to be one other team outside of the top 4 in the SEC that's going to be there. Whether it's, I still think Florida has a good chance. Again, that roster, that talent is, at any point they could, it could click and they could make it happen. So, but also, no one's talking about the boys from Mississippi State. They're playing some good baseball this year. So I know, but you got to accept reality. So, but you never know, man. The SEC is just stacked 1 through 14. So no off weekends. So.
Before you go, do you got a good Jackson Lowry story? We won't tell them. We won't say anything.
I don't know if I can tell those on air. No, I'm kidding. I'm trying to remember what a good one was.
Yeah. Well, okay, you don't have to get a story, but what was it like as a teammate having Jackson Lowry on the roster?
He was nails. In 2015, he was nails. You pitched Game 3, didn't you, of the Super Regional?
Game 2, yeah.
Yeah, he was always right in the middle of it. Yeah. He had a great year that year. So he was kind of like, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Yeah, he probably had like a sub-3 ERA. He was right there, just right in the middle, pumping 93, just getting guys out. So, good teammate, great teammate.
Yeah.
So,
what was that? Yeah. He got him in on garbage time when they start coming in. But I just love it because he says kind of the same thing like you did. He's just like, he's talking about this year's team. He's like, I probably wouldn't even have a jersey like this year. And then like you talk about how everything changes too. So it's just like, man, I keep getting the guys on the show. They're just like, I wouldn't even play this year. I'm like, I don't even have a spot on the squad. But no, people remember that 2015 run, man, and the team and just. You talked about a lot, but Andrew Benintendi, but then just the grinding it out and getting there and getting back to Omaha. It was not an easy journey, but man, it shows you how much it's crazy with baseball. You keep chalking up to baseball, but getting the matchups, getting the way, and getting it all done. So, but Tyler, man, appreciate you coming over here to Hydrate NWA and talking about it. I know it's hopefully they'll be able to get the games in pretty easily. I know with the rain and all that, it's always impactful. Okay. So real quick before you leave, I wanted to ask you this. I heard that Dave was not too happy with having to wait out in the heat between the two games of the doubleheader in South Carolina.
Post-game speech, yeah.
Yeah. So, why? Like, well, do you have any insight as to why that? First off, why would he have to wait? And second off, like in the heat, like they're not going to have a locker room to go to at South Carolina that they can go. I'm just curious. Maybe you knew something of.
I don't remember that stadium. I thought they had a locker. I mean, it's nice enough to have one, but. Yeah, that probably deal where, hey, it's really hot and muggy. But too bad you can't use any of our facilities. It's crazy. There's some teams, there's some other coaches. Not saying South Carolina's one of them. Maybe there was something that actually happened, but they'll do some mind game stuff like that where they won't let you go do something, won't let you use something, maybe a cage or whatever it is, won't let you get on the field at a certain point. So teams will do that stuff, try to get under your skin a little bit. There's some of that goes on. Okay. So
I was just wondering if maybe it was like, because I thought the same thing. It's true with a nice ballpark like that, they have a place that locker room you can go to.
You would think.
Not that way, but he was not too happy of it. But they still got the win, and that's all that matters with the series.
That's
victory.
exactly right.
Well, Tyler Spoon, former Razorback, thanks to the Bank of Fayetteville as always, man. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we'll be catching up with you next week. Hopefully, talking about not only a series win, but also a big one against A&M on the road. So.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
That will be tough.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Appreciate you, and we're gonna take a break and come back with more of the John Neighbors Show. So stay with us.
We not done yet either, so don't be satisfied because we not done.
Hey, John, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrats. I added a two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. Okay, you missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you, Dave. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
That is why Arkansas is fantastic. Yes, sir.
And I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys, I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
Big Red, so excited. Big Red. Oh.
Guys, I got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the SEC.
Well, Fayetteville is 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
Let's stick my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
John Neighbors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
And welcome back into the John Neighbors Show here live from Hydrate NWA here in Northwest Arkansas on Dixon Street. 609 West Dixon Street is getting ready for the weekend. Got Jackson Lowry joining us of Hydrate NWA. So, Jackson, how we feeling after the IV, dude?
Feel pretty incredible, man. It's just good to be with all the guys.
Yeah, I feel pretty good too, man. In fact, I was telling him, I was like, oh, I didn't realize I was done. He says, like, yeah, you were done for like half an hour ago, felt like. So I was like, oh, no, I was still over here acting like it was happening and everything. So, yeah, feeling energized. It feels good. Like, I felt like as soon as it got in there, felt a little difference, felt a little juice that got in. Yeah.
Ready to go, dude.
Yeah.
Feeling dangerous.
I know. I kept looking at it. I was like, that was the energy deal. I can't wait to see what all the other ones that you have in store. I saw the whole hog, like getting that one. It's like the whole smash.
Dump everything in it.
Yeah.
One of everything.
Like you just turn into like a Superman if that's the case and all of that. So, so how long have you been running Hydrate NWA now?
We bought it in October. It opened back up in November.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So
been trying a lot of different things. Figure out, what the people want, and continue to do that and make some deals with local businesses, and get out in the community a little bit more, and try and show, differentiate from the other places around.
Yeah. So like, what do you say has been kind of the coolest thing that since you've taken over that you've been seeing or that you guys have done and developed since you've taken over?
I would say just meeting different people, showing them that the benefits of an IV, because it's kind of a taboo concept, in Arkansas right now.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Las Vegas or New York City or one of the bigger cities, it's a very normal thing. But, just kind of developing the market here and being able to differentiate from those corporate, national type companies is something that we're excited to keep doing and have done a little bit.
Yeah. There's something that maybe is in the works, like something you'd like to do down the road, like goals or anything like that for Hydrate NWA?
We want to turn this into more of like a place you can hang out, get a cold tub, sauna, something like that. We've been talking to a couple of people and hopefully make that happen so you can come in here and do more than just get an IV. And then also we want to start going, golf courses and gyms and setting up there and and making ourselves more available.
Yeah, that's always an important part of it too. So, I heard you. Obviously, you were over there when I was talking to Tyler. We were talking about that 2015 season. He was hyping you up, man. You're over here being Mr. Humble, and he's like, man, no, Jackson had a great year that year. So, man, I was asking about that Florida game though in the SEC tournament.
Oh yeah.
What do you remember the most by that game, man?
I remember, what was it, like midnight?
Yeah, 1:30.
1:30. Yeah, and I remember they put me in one of those things that, I don't know if they could hear me, but where they would put me in, we were down, and everyone's kind of like, oh shit, Lowry's in. We better start scoring some runs. And Bobby had that long at bat.
Yeah.
And hit that out on his front foot, hit that home run, man. Yeah.
Just decked it, man.
That was sweet. I love Bobby too, man. He's a great coach.
Yeah. No. What was crazy is I didn't think about it till Tyler said it. That was his first home run of the year.
I didn't realize that, but Bobby is a great baseball player. Could really hit, but not a big power.
Not
guy.
a power guy over there, and because
we needed it.
Yeah, was it the Hoover Met? Yeah, it's the Hoover Met that they were over there too. So, because I was telling him, I was like, man, I was over at West End like at 1:30 in the morning watching the game,
awesome.
and it was awesome. But I don't know, I just always felt like almost like bad for a lot of the players or anybody like it's like you got a game that you got to play, and it's 1:30 in the morning, you win, and it's great, but then you got to wake up the next day and get after it, which is I feel like is an underrated thing about baseball players. If people ever get critical or whatever, it's like there's no other sport that you really have to do that. Like even in majors or in college where it's like, like today, like we're talking about, Arkansas is going to have 3 games in 24 hours being played.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, I don't care who you're doing. That's a tough thing to go through.
I guess it's just, you just what you do when you play baseball. You just play every day, and it's kind of, you get used to it. So
routine.
It's not like, but you get to play baseball.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to go to work, working out.
Well, what they need to do is they just need to come to Hydrate NWA in between games.
Absolutely.
And get them ready to go for the next one.
They should. They should. The powers that be, they need to call or set up a meeting. We would love to do that. We'd love to do that.
Just have Dave Van Horn get the guys on the bus over here and just drive them over, man, right before the game. Make it happen, too. So, speaking of, did you have any routines like as a player, like that you, like anything like superstitions, stuff like that? Anything that you want to share at least?
I was super superstitious.
Okay.
So I would, my friends would made a lot of fun of me with my socks. I was really weird about my socks. left foot, right foot, left foot. I had 3 pairs of socks on every time I
Oh
played.
my gosh.
And I also wore long tights. Different. They had to be white at home, and then a dark colored tights on in away games. Yeah, my socks. I was really weird about my socks.
Huh.
It made my feet feel better, and also had several more. Kind of weird, probably.
Now, with the sock thing, did that start when you were like in high school or something, or was it just when you got to Arkansas?
I don't remember exactly when it started, but it was probably one of those things like these cleats are too big, or these cleats don't fit right, so I'm going to put 3 pairs of socks on, and then I pitched well. I'm sure it was one of those things.
Yeah.
And so I just did it forever after that.
Yeah. Did you have like music that you had to listen to beforehand too, like any of that?
I wasn't really a music guy before the games. I kind of like to be loose in the clubhouse, messing around with people, and
Did they have walkout music for pitchers? What did you remember what your song was?
I always had an Arkansas singer as my walkout song.
Okay.
Even after, in professional baseball and all that, I always had an Arkansas. So I think here it was Backwoods by Justin Moore.
Okay. So that was your one the whole time you were here?
No, first year actually was Born in the USA.
Okay.
By, Born in
Is that Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen. And then, after that, I've always been a huge Justin Moore fan, and so I was playing in Australia and had a Justin Moore song, and everyone looked at me like, this redneck, or bogan, as they called me.
Called you what?
They saying a redneck in Australia is a bogan.
A bogan.
Yeah. So
interesting. All right.
They call me Jacko.
What was that like playing in Australia?
It was wild, man. It was. They're trying to grow the sport there, so the MLB sponsors a league, and they have certain amount of American guys can be on every team. Like there's a limited amount. So the Blue Jays sent 6 of us over there, and it was an experience, man. It was very cool to live in Australia and for free and get paid to do it or whatever. But I didn't pitch well, so I didn't.
Really?
I didn't have the best experience. But it's a cool country. The people are they're rowdy, man.
Right.
Very rowdy in Australia. But there's good baseball there. I have some stories from there. Yeah, that a lot of fun. But
I don't know if you ever watch Eastbound and Down.
Yeah,
that kind of just reminds me of like when he goes to like Mexico or something like that. It's just like this. Yeah, it's just everything's crazy and no one knows what to think about anything. So
that's minor league. I mean, that's what everyone thinks they are.
Yeah, yeah, fits the profile for it too. Porgenstein, I guess, on our chat asked if it was one of the Schilling socks that you were rocking from the bloody socks. Is that when you had to do that?
I was very picky about them, though.
Yeah.
My friends made a lot of fun of me for that.
Yeah. Well, how do you? I feel like all these baseball players, or at least your teammates, probably had some weird stuff that they did too. So I don't know why they'd make fun of you for the socks. That seems like a pretty normal, or at least a not so weird in some of the stories I've heard of what people do and.
There's a lot of very weird ones that I don't know if you could say on TV. It's not like they're bad or malicious or anything, but they're just weird. Hey, baseball players are very weird.
Dude, we're not FCC regulated. We can say whatever we want on this. So
people will do certain things that they thought helped them when they were slumping.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to share one? Just it doesn't have to be yours, but just one you remember someone doing. You don't even have to use their name.
Certain underwear people would wear. Some guys thought that if they for some reason wore thong or something that they would start hitting or what. Things like that. I can't think of.
Yeah. But of course your sock is what's weird and people are making fun of you. But yeah, people are doing that.
Also, one time, Mom is gonna like this, but I had this randomly, I couldn't figure out where to put somebody's can of tobacco.
Yeah.
And so I put it in my sock, and I was pitching against LSU, and I pitched well. So then literally the rest of my baseball career, I had the exact same kind of can in my pocket at the same spot, or in my sock, same spot. Yeah. So little things like that. But a lot of, guys have their own. Everyone's got something.
So you had 3 pairs of socks and then also the can was on there, man.
Yeah.
I'd say you were set to where you were never going to twist an ankle.
No,
you had all the stuff there too. So, man, I'm glad we were able to get out here to Hydrate NWA because, like I said, I feel great, and like I said, got the energy to go with it too, and. The process was painless, man. I know that for anybody out there that's ever been weird about needles or weird about getting IV, it was an extremely simple, quick, easy process.
We have a great staff, man, that just make you feel comfortable. And if that's what you're worried about, then I understand. That's an understandable thing to be worried about, but it's very simple, quick, painless.
Yeah. People need to know that, too, because I was talking with Curtis and Scotty about it, and they weren't this way, but just like they know people that are just, can't deal with needles. Like my brother, he literally will pass out if he sees a needle, like he just can't deal with it. So everybody's different about it, but it's a very simple and painless process, folks. I mean, it's like
we also give injections, B12, just like a flu shot type thing. You can come in and get B12, Toradol, Decadron. Man, we want to just come check it out and hang out. I know on a Sunday you may not be feeling so hot, especially during football season. We watch Red Zone. We always have Red Zone on Sundays, and
heck yeah,
we'd love for everyone to come hang out.
Yeah. I mean, it's where because you're bringing up the kind of the hangout vibe, and I mean that's kind of what it's comfortable chairs, very chill. You got TVs on over here too, being able to check out, I guess, some college baseball that's already started up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the vibes are really cool here. It's a great spot for Hydrate NWA. So again, come on out. If you can't make it today, obviously you got the weekend, man. So what are your hours for the weekend?
We open at 8 and close at 6, and then Sundays our hours are a little bit different. They close a little bit earlier, but if we're trying to figure out the right hours to do as well since we've opened up. But yeah, we love to hear people's feedback. Or requests or anything that you want us to do or do differently or just any questions. We'd love to answer them.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, again, we appreciate it, Jackson, and having us out and getting everyone ready for the weekend at Hydrate NWA, and looking forward to a great weekend of baseball. Hopefully it's it's a good one for Arkansas. I don't want to look ahead of it, but man, it's something about hosting regionals and supers and getting to that point. And then, I know they're going to be in postseason. Like, that's not even a question. Yeah. But it's like, I want them to get to the point to where, you got Florida, but then A&M and Kentucky, both on the road, still left on the schedule. So
I think they're up for it, man.
I do too.
Like the way they act. I like the way that, their attitude seems like they expect to win. They do it the right way. They're not doing some Ole Miss like rah BS. They make me proud to be a fan and a former player. Absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking, dude, I don't know how you felt about it. I think we maybe talked about this. The handing the baseball to the incoming pitcher, it just drives me up a wall, man. I can't deal with that. It's like I don't know why and how. I know Ole Miss has done it for forever, but it's just like that's one of those things where I don't know. If I felt like if I was a pitcher and I didn't do too hot and the coach is taking me out, I don't want to stand there anymore. Just get me, just like hand the ball and I'm going to the dugout. I don't want anything.
Coach Jordan used to teach us, little things like that. That's like, this is how you get taken out of the game. You hand the ball to them. You don't run off the mound. You don't skip. You don't, you just walk off, good or bad.
Keep it the same.
Keep it the same and just be professional. Whatever. But there's the little things that we do, like when I watch the Hogs play, and then I watch Ole Miss. That it's like, damn, I'm glad that's my team.
Yeah.
Instead of that one doing the cheerleading stuff.
Yeah, I know. I never was a fan of it either, and it just kills me that Ole Miss has won a World Series, though, man. It just wrecks my world.
It makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah, as long as Tennessee doesn't win one, because they've gotten a little bit less than what they were, but a couple of seasons ago, dude, I never hated a team more than that.
I love Tony and Luke. Luke, one of our teammates is there. So I would root for them just because those are my guys. But let's leave it at that.
Yeah. I was going to ask, since you as a former pitcher, if a guy that hit a home run off of you started rounding the bases and then flipped off the the outfielders, how would that go the next time?
I remember that, and I don't know if I would have made it around the base. The bases on our team in 2015, I don't know if they would have made it to home plate,
dude.
But that was wild.
I think that's where it was like another level of, okay, it's one thing to be goofy and doing goofy stuff the daddy hat or whatever.
That one was tough.
Yeah, but when you're out there flipping off the other team as you're rounding the bases, it's just, dude, that was
a lot.
Mm-hmm. Because I think I forgot who was talking to as a former pitcher of Arkansas. He said the same thing that like you did. He's like, That he's like, no, he wouldn't have made it around.
You would hope. I just know my teammates, and who knows what would happen. But I know that's not how Luke and Tony, want their players to act. So it should not go back on them because I know what kind of guys they are. But that was wild.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like it's all changed for them now. Like they're not doing it as much as they used to. Like I think it's because people forget that team won like 57, 58 games.
They were incredible
And didn't even make it to Omaha. Like that's unheard of.
Yeah, baseball. Man. That's baseball. I love them. I love those two guys, and they're great. And
I hope Tony V's our next head coach. I've been saying it from the get go.
You have said that to me.
And it out of Razor. And here's what's so stupid about it all is it's all because of that one time when Van Horn and him got into it, and then they're fine. Like they're still friends. They're still great. They hang out. Doesn't matter because it's all the Razorback fans said, you don't come after our guy. It's unprotective, which I get, but then it's like, hey, if they're cool, the fans need to be cool. Like, you shouldn't hold a grudge.
I think the fans should know how much Tony did for our program. And they are good friends and respect each other. And that was two people that are very passionate about their teams and just had a crazy ending to a game that it got heated and that happens.
Yeah. And it's fine. It's water under the bridge now. But I don't know. I've always got the vibe from Dave Van Horn. I'm like, when I look at him and he's mad, it kind of makes me laugh a little bit. But if he was mad at me, I'd probably like. It's like it's funny when he's
mad at you. I promise.
Yeah, because he's. I think it was Dominic Ficacella that told me he's like Dave Van Horn is the most intimidating person. No, it was Trent Daniel because they both agreed on it when they were on my show. It's like he's the most intimidating man who's not like a physical prowess, like a huge dude. That it's just
make you feel very small.
Yes, they said that he would address you down, and that certain look he'd give you, and just it was like, man, it was tough to deal with.
Man, he can make you. He can, and he knew how to motivate me. He did it to me. That's what I think. One of the things that makes him great is he knows how to get his guys going. One guy may need a compliment, a hug, or whatever, something like that, and a guy like Jackson Lowry needs to get mother after sometimes, and that gets me going at work, But that's the one thing that makes Coach great.
Yeah. Let's see. He's a guy that it seems like. I mean, not every player that plays for every coach ever is going to be like love and respect. I mean, there's so many of them, but I think it's pretty universal for Dave Van Horn. I don't think I've ever met any former players that had ever had anything bad to say, even if they may have disagreed with an assistant coach that was under him or something. But when it comes to Dave, it's like every single person's like, I'm all for. I love that guy and do anything for him.
He helped me out, outside of baseball, my life, and I admittedly probably wasn't the easiest guy to coach because I like to have fun and be loud and mess around with my teammates, whatever. But yeah, he took care of me. He took care of me, with life and after baseball. So I will always be indebted and appreciative to Coach Van Horn.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was going to ask you how he has how the relationship after baseball. It seems like he still keeps in contact with all of his guys and all of his players.
Yeah, he's obviously extremely busy, but every time I see him, hug him, he asks me, how I'm doing, what's going on, helped me with everything after baseball, grad school, and everything like that. And yeah, couldn't say enough good things about Skip, as we call him. Skipper.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this too. He is he's a guy that talking with guys again like Trent Daniel and all that. He's not changed except for a little bit more lax maybe on long hair and facial hair and stuff because
you gotta adapt with the times. I think
it's like there are times, man. It's like Trent was telling me there was no facial hair and your hair had to be cut a certain way, and he'd let it get along a little bit until you lost.
Yeah. You're playing good. The rules are a little bit more lax.
Yeah, and then change it out. So, but hey, but man, we appreciate you having us out here at Hydrate NWA and doing a live show, man, and getting us all hydrated up, ready for the weekend, man. So
yeah, we appreciate y'all. We've enjoyed building this relationship with y'all and hopefully continue this business partnership and this friendship with all the guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. We'll take our final break. When we come back, we'll close up shop for the John Neighbors Show here live from Hydrate NWA here on Dixon Street. So stay with us.
We not done yet either. So don't be satisfied because we not done.
Hey John, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat. I added two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric,
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you, Dave. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
That is why Arkansas is fantastic.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horn.
Best guys, I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
Big Red's so excited. Big Red. Oh.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the SEC.
Well, Fayetteville is 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
Let's stick my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
The John Neighbors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
All right, we are hitting into the final segment here on the John Neighbors Show, live from Hydrate NWA, right here on Dixon Street. I'm John Neighbors, and I got intern Landon over here hanging out.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, appreciate you coming over here, man. I know as an intern in your college, I'm sure you have a lot of fun things that you got going on, especially getting ready for the weekend and coming and hanging out. How you feel about from the IV?
I feel awesome.
Yeah?
I'm a hard stick, and so the staff here is awesome.
Yeah.
They took care of me, and they got me right.
Good. Well, man, I'm glad that you could make it happen. I'm sure you got a very boring weekend ahead of you, right?
Well, I'm glad I did get the IV.
It's going to come in handy for you.
We got to prep for the weekend, especially starts tonight. But
So you're going to be at the game?
Yeah, I'll probably swing by.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like you got to and everything. But because is baseball your number one sport?
Yeah.
So
I'm more of a roll in on a Sunday kind of guy. I was telling you I was rooting for the doubleheader on Sunday instead of Saturday. Something about Sunday games. But no,
you're the first one I've ever met that's like there's something about Sunday games.
Well,
usually it's always been like, from what I understand, or at least from my experience, people like the doubleheaders on Saturday, fans that is, because in Sunday they have the whole day off or whatever. But
Sunday's like the recovery day in general. It's like no matter what you're doing, it's your recovery day regardless. But for me, just stroll in. Usually you'll find some seats.
There'll be plenty of those usually.
I don't have to sit in the hog pen every once in a while. Nice little break from that.
Yeah, well, I know. So is that where you usually sit as a hog pen?
Yeah. They'll give us a student ticket, and we just go from there.
Is there rules out there? Because there's the unwritten rules everyone keeps telling me about. Do you know the rules? Or do you abide by any rules out there?
The only rule that consistently my 3 years is no vaping, which I don't vape. So that's
no vaping out the hog pen.
Yeah.
Good to know. To know. No vaping out there.
No vaping, and don't take your clothes off. But
which is so funny that not that I'm trying to endorse anything or I ain't promoting it now, as Sam Pittman would say. But I feel like vaping when you're outside out in the I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the time where I can get if it's indoors.
Yeah.
But who's it bothering when I got the whole sky in front of you? And I don't know. That's just me. But
I've literally seen someone get detained my freshman year due to
for
it.
vaping.
Yeah, for vaping.
Was it worth it to him? I wonder. That would be my question. Was it worth getting out of there?
I didn't get to ask. And I'm thinking, I'm staring at 45 19-year-olds drinking, but the vape is where we draw the line.
Yeah. So how you feel about this weekend, Florida?
I just don't know what Florida we're gonna get. You know,
ain't that the truth?
Like they're either going that Florida team, if they're on, they're capable of putting up a series win on the road, especially against a powerful team like us. But I think we at least take 2 of the 3. That doubleheader is a little tough, makes things a little more interesting, but I think we get out of there with 2 of the 3.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's safe to say. I'm hoping that's the case. Doubleheaders are always weird, but should be a good weekend for it. Do you think should start in Game 3?
Colin Fisher.
You want Colin Fisher?
Yeah,
okay, true freshman.
I like the committee approach to, especially now that it's a doubleheader. Just go ahead and bullpen committee.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I think I'd be fine with it, and especially given the way that they have so many capable guys that could roll out there too. I want to see, I guess, Hagan tonight, and then after Hagan gets done, I mean, maybe do you go Will McIntyre? I guess kind of depending on the situation. Maybe maybe Gabe Gackle to close it out if it's all well and good.
Yeah, and I think Gackle will close it. I guess everyone's talked about possibility of him starting one of those that'd be Game
wild.
3. Oh, that would be absurd.
That'd be wild. That'd be good for him too. But either way. Well, hey, Landon, I'm glad you could come and hang out and chill and get ready for the weekend and come out to Hydrate NWA, folks. I know that we're wrapping up shop here, but they're going to continue on throughout the whole weekend. Great way to get recovery, great way to get that energy, great way to be feeling great here as you come up, and they'll get you all taken care of with the different options that they have to choose from. And they're conveniently located right here on Dixon Street. It's almost like they were made for this type of thing, right?
Yeah,
here.
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. They knew there was a good location is what they say. We're in the right location. So right here at 609 West Dixon Street. Come on out and see it, and we're going to have a fun weekend in store. Be sure to subscribe to all things Natty State Sports. And also the Pot at the Palace is going to be popping off, I'm sure, with some more players that are going to be committing. But for everybody involved, with Andrew Ellis, Scotty Bordelin, Curtis Wilkerson, intern Landon over here, also for Jackson Lowry and Tyler Spoon, kind enough to come over and hang out with us. I'm John Neighbor. Same sports show, same sports channel. Next Monday, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you then.